Huh. Truck. Yeah, no intro tonight, no special shit. Just hanging. Um, got some Kaisers. Tried to make some calls to family and friends on Facebook. It would appear I don't have family and friends, which, whatever. Didn't have family and friends when I was in the States either, so whatever. For some reason, um, Grumpy Farmer can get you loony leftists to come over and comment on his shit. Maybe it's because he doesn't do the research and can't destroy you, and that's why you go over there. But I'll go over there all day long and destroy you, and he'll lure you, bait and hook. He'll hook you, and I'll destroy you. I'm good with that. You're stupid. Wife tonight had a visitor. They're working on getting her green card to visit the States. She could someone send some prices? I sent her a link of prices for rent. She's like, I'll work there and we'll save up for our house. No, we're not going to save up for a house. We're going to pay fucking rent and buy food. That's how it fucking works. Brazilians don't understand that. That's why one of the reasons why actually I didn't even know about the exchange rate when I moved here. Or I would have planned for it ahead of time instead of going to a guy she knew at her work. I gotta set the live chat. But and I see Lula is economically declared war on Trump or the United States. Just a tip, folks, if your inflation rate is 5.35%, you ain't declaring war on nobody. Just saying. I'm not an economic expert, but I do know a little bit. Enough to know 5.35% is worse than 2.3%. Also, I know when your debt is comparatively, when you go per capita, worse than the country you're declaring war on, you might just want to sit down and shut the fuck up with your nine-fingered dumbass. Just saying. Anybody, you're free to pipe in if you know something more than I do about, If it weren't for the United States, Brazil wouldn't have a military, and I know that because my father spoke Portuguese. Matter of fact, the first word I ever heard in Portuguese was babaca. Of course, I didn't know what that meant at the time. I do now. My father called me an asshole in Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese. So, yeah. I've been calling, I don't use the word asshole a lot. Foda-se, vai se foder depois do poncho de caça, which roughly translates to fuck off past the deer stand. They don't have deer stands in Brazil. It says fuck off past the hunting point, but they don't have deer stands here. So, yeah, loosely translated. And then when you get to the deer stand or past the deer stand, you can fuck off even further. Let me see if I can translate that in my head now, because I've been practicing to do that. Vai ser depois, quando você depois poncho de caça, vai ser foder mais distância, which means fuck off even further. Long distance, yeah. Man, when you get to the point where you stop fucking off, fuck off some more until you get to the back to where you were fucking off originally, and then you can start fucking off all over again. I had a loony leftist idiot on Facebook trying to defend the illegal immigration. Now, remember that California pot farm where they had at least 10 kids, traffic kids, who were doing slave labor? And you had Democrats out there protesting. By the way, this is not the first time the Democrats have defended slave labor or slavery. The last time, though, we shot them, so that's what ended slavery. But now they're defending it again, and it's almost like history repeating itself. And they're mad that I'm pointing it out. Matter of fact, I have a meme I made. It has the Confederates on one side and then the idiots outside the California pot farm on the other. It's like, isn't history fun? The one on the left are the Confederates, and it says Democrats defending slavery. Then it has the idiots on the right outside the pot farm, and I'm saying Democrats defending slavery. By the way, because of, and I'm not blaming the Border Patrol, but under Biden's rules, they actually helped child trafficking. Kids would show up at the border with a fucking phone number. They'd call the number and go, "Oh yeah, that's my niece or nephew." And guess what they'd do? Put them on a bus and send them to their child trafficker. In my opinion, Joe Biden should be facing charges for child trafficking. Oh, another point. They're still doing the, Trump is on the list. And I'm still trying to, then why isn't Biden president? He should be fucking president, man. That's something you could drop. Comey should still be director of the FBI. He had access to that information. That should have been fucking leaked like years ago if he were on the list. That would have come out years ago. CIA, FBI. I can't even think of all the intelligence agencies that would have had access to that. Not to mention the DOJ, who was in charge under Biden. That shit would have leaked. Now, he was mentioned in unsealed court documents that said Epstein went to one of his casinos. Okay. Epstein went to one of his casinos. So did Mike Tyson. So, until one of you loony leftists can explain to me why Joe Biden is not president, or even the cackling dingus, Kamala Harris, because that shit should have dropped if his name was on it and they could prove it. Now, I'm tired of hearing about it. I'm just a dumb grunt who writes books. By the way, my latest book is on, well, actually, it's a rewrite. So we'll go back to the one I didn't rewrite. Messiah, on Barack Hussein Obama, who violated the Constitution at least 20 times, violated American law at least 25 times, and fucked up the healthcare system to the point where I'm actually paying for healthcare and I don't even live in the United States. So if you voted for Barack Obama and you tell me, you may actually get kicked in the nuts. And I will do the jail time just because, well, you kind of deserve it. Sorry. What is that? That's like, I bet you it's 30 days. Of course, I have a black belt, so And when I kick you in the nuts, they may hit the roof of your mouth. If I can get my hip into it, if you're not too close. If you're in just the right position, you may cough blood. But, tried to call on friends and families on Facebook. Might go back and try again. And then, I don't know. I talk to them on Saturdays. I don't do it during the week because they work. I'm courteous about that. But I'll try, give it another try. Nobody watches my videos, so I don't care. Although I'm a frickin' genius. I write books. You know what writing a book is? It's asking the right questions and then answering them yourselves. Just getting curious and going, I might want to look that up. And then after you look it up, it turns into a book. It's actually not that hard if you have basic fundamentals in grammar and basic fundamentals in critical thinking. Learned it in college, actually. Take the Declaration of Independence, for instance. If the professor said the Declaration of Independence was written in 1776, everybody would write down the Declaration of Independence was written in 1776. Not me. I'd write down what year was the Declaration of Independence signed. Well, then you go look up that question, and it comes up with a whole bunch of other stuff that you can ask questions about. And that grows, and then guess what you have? You have a book. Not freaking hard, but people can understand that, especially when it comes to politics. If a politician is crooked, you only need to ask a few questions. Who, what, where, when, and why. And then that'll grow from there. Like I'm rewriting a book on the loony left. I think I was actually too nice in the book. I tried to just, they're fighting for whatever. By the way, I don't know who needs to hear this, but gobbling cock is not a civil rights issue. It's a stop telling me you gobble cock issue. That's called sexual harassment, especially at work. So, might go back and try one more time. It's almost 8 o'clock. Maybe I can get a family member or a family friend to answer the fucking phone. If not, I'll go eat or whatever I'm going to do. But peace out, people. Ain't nobody been here except for my wife, who liked my video, by the way, which appreciate her. But hasta la pizza. Yeah.